Hello Debutantes! It is time for another episode of Don't Get Pinstressed, and I actually whipped this together for a little boy's birthday party that I'm going to today, and I wasn't able to find a blog post, but I found a picture, and usually if I can see a picture, I'll make it work. So this is what we're making today. It is a Spider-Man monogram. Now you could do this with any superhero. I just used a wood letter and some paints, so let me show you how we make this project. Okay guys, so for this project you're going to need your wooden letter, you're going to need some paints. I have white that I'm going to use as like a primer coat, a blue and a red because I'm doing Spider-Man. You're going to need some foam brushes, a little bit of blue tape, and then over here you can see this is kind of my inspiration for it. I could not find a blog post on Pinterest, just the photo. So that is my inspiration. So I had the letter, I think I bought it a while ago, and I just gave it a really light sand. It usually comes ready to paint, but because it's for a little boy, I wanted to make sure there were no burrs. So the first thing I'm going to do is just give it a coat all over with the white paint, and then we will start doing the fun stuff. I finished putting a coat of white paint on the letter. I actually put two very light coats of white paint, and why I did this is because I think by covering up that yellow wood, it will really make the blue and the red pop once I paint it. I don't want it to kind of, you know, fade into the wood. I want it to be really sharp and bright. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. It's just inexpensive acrylic paint, so it will dry pretty quickly, and then we will move on to the fun stuff with the blue and the red. Okay, for the next step we have to decide where we want the red and the blue. I think I want the spider part, the red with the black, to take up more of the letter and the blue to take up less. So I have my clear ruler, and what I think I'm going to do is line it up from the top of the W to this part, and then all of this that is showing will be red and the stuff under the ruler will be blue. So what I want to do is take a pencil, and I find that these mechanical pencils, because the lead is so thin, makes a much lighter line. I want to draw a very light line across here just so I kind of know where to put the tape, and then I can see if that's really where I want everything to be. So you can't really see that, but there's a line that goes right across there. And then I'm just going to take the blue tape, and I think I want to do the red first, so I'm going to tape on the blue side, and I'm just going to tape slightly over so you can see the line, so I paint over the pencil mark. So I'm going to make sure my edges are rubbed down really well, and then I'm going to paint this probably with two coats of the red. So I'm going to make sure my tape is secured, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint the red, and I will show you what that looks like. So I have the first coat of red paint, and you can tell it's not quite red enough. You can see the white through it, but I'm going to do a couple more coats of paint, and if I don't feel that it's dark enough, I will probably see if I have a darker red paint. I do like these inexpensive acrylic paints from Michael's for my craft projects, and knowing me, I probably have 6 or 7 shades of red out there. So I'm going to let that dry and see if it gets darker, add another coat, and then see where we're at. I finished painting the red finally, and what I did was I traced around the W on my scrap paper because I wanted to line up the webbing the way I wanted it to look on the letter. So I just started at a center point. I took my ruler and I just measured out these pieces, and then I went through and added the ribs so that when I put the W back on my little form, now this doesn't have to be perfect, this is just kind of a guide, I can still see the lines underneath. I can put my ruler right there. I'm going to use this Sharpie oil-based paint pen, and then I'm just going to go ahead and draw those lines just like they are on the back of the paper, and you can see, I can see the ends all around. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and since I want to make sure they're all nice and straight, I'm going to do that as quickly and as easily as possible. So let's see. Bella is snoring again. Can you hear her? So let's see, shall we start with this one right here? So if you haven't used these pens before, the tip is usually white and you have to push it down onto something until the paint fills up the tip. I just did this because this was a brand new pen, and then I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to draw that line right across. Now I'm going to be really careful by wiping the edge of my ruler off, because sometimes that paint will transfer and we certainly do not want any unwanted paint on our letter. Since this is a gift, I want it to be as perfect as possible. So I'm going to continue to do that, and then I'm going to go back in and carefully draw in the web part of it. So let me go ahead and finish that and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so the webbing is finished. It's not perfect. There's a few places that I wish I had done a better job, but all in all, I really like the way it looks. So the next thing I'm going to do is tape off right here. It bled through a little bit, so I'm going to tape just inside the red and then paint this blue, and we will be finished. So here is the finished letter. I think it looks very Spider-Man-y. It's just a flat piece of wood, so I'm going to include some of these with it so that they can hang it on the wall. These each hold about 4 pounds. This weighs less than a pound. So there it is, our Spider-Man letter. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this last episode of Don't Get Pinstressed. Please let me know if there's anything on Pinterest that you would like to see me make. Just leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed making this craft, please thumbs it up, subscribe if you have not, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.